cultural stories shaping our world. I'm Emmanuel Taban, and on this section of our podcast, I want us to look at the report released by the Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan and basically look at what it could mean for South Sudan and its government. Now, before we continue, if this is your first time getting into this channel, please, I recommend you to subscribe and hit the notification button so you can get notified of more of our videos that will come in the next few days. It's a way of supporting this channel. It's a way of growing it so we can use it to, get information about Africa, about South Sudan, and all these trending stories that are happening in our respective countries. And just to get back, and for context, on the 16th of September, the Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan released its 2 years independent investigation report. And the report title, Plundering a Nation, How Rampant Corruption Unleashed Human Crisis in South Sudan, is a very interesting title, Plundering a Nation. Now, for context, as I said, the Human Rights Council, the United Nations Human Rights Council, is a body under the United Nations that comprises of over 40 members that are actually tasked with the responsibility of promoting and protecting human rights across the world. And also the task of this council is to look at the evidences across the world in many countries where human rights violation could be evident or it's happening, and they come up with their report annually and present it to the Human Rights Council. Now, under the United Nations Human Rights Council, they formed a body called the Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan that operates under the United Nations Human Rights Council. Now, this body was established in 2016 after the outbreak of the second phase of the civil war in South Sudan. In 2016, I think around May, the council established a body called the Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan that was tasked with the responsibility of investigating human rights violation in South Sudan. In 2016, the commission did its work, and then in the subsequent years, from 2016 until 2025, the commission's mandate got extended every single year until 2025. So last Tuesday, the commission actually released its report on human rights issues in South Sudan. So on the 16th of September, that was around Tuesday, I guess, they published a report which actually took them 2 years, from 2024 to 2025, to produce that report. And the report was titled Plundering a Nation, How Rampant Corruption Unleashed Human Rights Crisis in South Sudan. Now, I want us to look at a little bit of the content of that report. So the report, according to the report, and just a disclaimer, what I'm going to say on this video is entirely what is in that report. They are not my own words, and that is exactly what the report has said. So according to the report says, or the report has actually calculated, or the commission calculated that from the year 2011, when South Sudan gained independence, to 2024, the government of South Sudan generated a large chunk of money, which is about 25 billion US dollars. And that 25 US dollars alone is from oil revenues. And also another 2.2 billion US dollars that is from oil-backed loans. And according to the report, that was the money that was that was generated from 2020 in nearly a decade time. But out of all that money, it is unclear where that money has gone up to today. The ways in which that money was spent is opaque. It's unknown, unclear. The health sector of the country is in crisis. The public health is in crisis. The education system of the country is very, very poor. It's not quality. Examination papers are marked 4 months and results released within 4 months later than the expected date. The justice system is in crisis. 76 of the 79 counties in the entire country are in severe need of food assistance. Crisis everywhere. And the country has generated about 25 billion in just 10 years. And this money is unknown. Very interesting report. And according to the report also suggests that most of the money, most of the revenues generated by South Sudan are being siphoned by a section of leaders in the country. These leaders take them to their own private bank accounts for their own gains. That's how the money is being siphoned. The report suggests that there was about 2.2 billion US dollars that was actually allocated to what we call the road, the oil to road program that is supposed to be used for infrastructure development. But out of that 2.2 billion US dollars, 1.7 is unaccounted for. 1.7 US dollars is unaccounted for. No one knows where the money is. That is very, very interesting. Very interesting report. And the report also has actually suggested that there is a systemic schemes where much of the country's revenue is being channeled into individuals' bank account. The ways are unclear. There are systemic ways created by the government where money is being taken for individuals' gains, and that contracts are being given for people who are politically connected to those in power. That is another way how the money is being taken. I mean, the report had some names of other companies that were actually used to channel out money. Money is being taken through e-citizen platform where they're talking about digitalized kind of stuff. That is how the money is being siphoned out. It is a very, very interesting report. It tells you the level of corruption. Now, the reason why this report was linking the misuse or corruption to human rights violation is because of the rampant corruption that happens in the country. It has led to actually violation of human rights, or it has led to human rights crisis in such a way that much of the money that is supposed to be used for basic education, for healthcare, which are necessary, which are actually human rights in the country, which is supposed to be acquired by anyone in the country, that money is being taken for by individuals, and that is how it has led to human rights crisis. Majority of the country is illiterate. No health care system is in existence that actually supports the people in South Sudan. And the report had a lot of findings. Now the government came out and actually criticized the report. They said the report was meant to just tarnish the image of the leaders of South Sudan and the image of the good people of South Sudan. The government has rejected the report, but again, the commission that was sent to South Sudan, none of those people who actually participate in that investigation are getting paid. They are doing that in their individual capacities. It is an independent body that is not influenced even by the United Nations or by any private organization or any government. It is an individual, an independent body, that these people go there by themselves. They are not getting paid for all the investigation they did. But the government came out and rejected the report, saying this is a report that is meant to tarnish the image of the leaders of South Sudan. interesting. So if you haven't gone through that report, I encourage you to go and read it. It's a very huge report, about I think over 100 pages, but its findings are very interesting. It will give you a big view of what is happening in the country. And the report is titled "Plundering a Nation: How Rampant Corruption Unleashed Human Rights Crisis in South Sudan." It is written by the United Nations Human Rights Commission in South Sudan. So if you read it, I know you'll understand better. Thank you so much. This is Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast. Until next time, I remain the same. And if you find these videos are interesting, please never hesitate to comment and like, share, and as well subscribe if you haven't.